Whenever you feel thirsty, just think Voltic. And it's always said that whenever you want to take
Cela s'est
water, do not say
sérieusement
you want
retourné contre
water,
lui.
just say that you
And
want
it totally
Voltic.
backfired on
Voltic has
George
a
Bush.
message
Dans
for
son
us.
débat contre
Naturally, it will come naturally to you to take Voltic. However, Voltic is also campaigning and ensuring that everyone keeps Ghana very clean. So once you're done with taking your Voltic, twist it and get it recycled. How do you do that? We've got vantage points where we collect our plastic bottles, and then you just need to get there and then you drop it in the bin there. Voila, you're fine. Recycling begins right from there. Okay, so do not drop your plastic bottles anywhere. Just find a vantage point where we do our pickups and then you drop your empty bottles there. Next on the list is Sankofa Natural Spices. Wow, for that delicious meal, whether it's soup or whether it's a stew, Sankofa says that they will sort you out definitely. The good thing about it is that Sankofa is proudly made in Ghana, and we have all the natural ingredients: prekese, esruwisa, akakedro, everything, name it. And it doesn't contain salt or MSG. This is to say that you don't need to be considering, okay, what quantity of salt should I put into my food because I'm spicing it up. You don't need to think through all of that. Sankofa will give you that very natural taste in your food. Chana shito, chana shito. #1 pepper sauce here in Ghana. Chana shito is your #1 choice when it comes to black pepper sauce. Okay? Chana shito is not just regular shito. It is shito with a difference. Shito with chunks of shrimps and herrings with a great taste. Chana shito, food just got tastier. You can find chana at Presec Goil Mart, Hacho Goil, Garden Mart on the Spintex, and Mickey Mart. That's where you'll find them. So for bulk purchase, call 02444. So the 4 is going to be 4 of the 4s, quadruple 4. So 02 quadruple 4 8180 or 02409744461, and follow us on all social media handles at Chana Shito. Wow. You know, whenever you think about your pepper sauce and it is chana, you know, you begin to feel hungry. So I want you to try out chana shito in your next meal, okay? It will go with rice, with egg, every bread. It's so nice with chana shito. My God, delicious. So you just have to add chana shito to it, and then definitely you would be enjoying that meal. Sankofa Natural Spices also says that you should just push away those old, you know, those other brands of spices that you've been, you know, making ways with, because the natural one is around. It's here in town. So once you go to your vendor, look for Sankofa Natural Spices. I know you're wondering who made my fabulous dress. Really? Yes, I know I look good, and I'm feeling really regal in this dress. Actually, I like Victorian styles. I like regal appeal. And interestingly, I found someone who is able to satisfy those fantasies of mine. I like feeling like somebody who came from the past. So, Afariwa styles can be located along the Bush Road on Ateshi. So you need to get to Afariwa Styles to be able to get ladies or gents outfits. Afariwa is into contemporary ladies and gents African wear, and their showroom is not difficult to be located at all. I mentioned earlier that you can find them along the Bush Road, or you can also find them at Osu opposite Asanka Local. Okay, let me stress it. The workshop and showroom is at Teshi Rasta Road, opposite Container Bus Stop. So if you don't know these places, just tell the taxi driver that you are just going to be moving along the Bush Road, and you definitely find the beautiful building of Afariwa Styles. You can also reach her on various social media handles, Instagram and Facebook particularly, and the address is afariwa.styles. Okay, delivery is also available. I mean, you just need to know what size you are. 12, 16, 18, 26, whatever size it is you are, you could just let her bring it over to you and then you test it. If it works for you, why not? You just make your payment. Afariwa Styles is bringing in the revolution when it comes to dressmaking. So you need to check her out, okay? So I'm going to continue with the rest of the conversation when I return, because right now I need to go over to the 60 seconds update segment where we tell you about what's happening to women in Ghana, Africa, and across the world. Do stay tuned.
The National Hairdressers and Beauticians Association, Senya Chapter, has expressed its gratitude to the Member of Parliament, who also doubles as Deputy Minister of Communication, Nenyin George Anda, for his unflinching support for the association over the years. In a statement, the association said, following the immense support from the NP, we pray to God and crave indulgence of the good people of Ewutu Senya West constituency to vote massively to retain our God-sent MP, whose main focus is to help the youth to be self-dependent and live decent lives. Breast Care International (BCL) has announced the innovative ways it will hold the 2020 October Breast Cancer Month as COVID-19 still lingers. According to the foundation, though this year's celebration may go unnoticed due to the prevalence of the pandemic, that will not prevent them from doing the needful. We are innovatively keeping with tradition as we refuse to let the ravages of COVID-19 crowd out our voice and blight our annual public awareness creation programmed in breast cancer, declared a determined Dr. Beatrice Wiafe Adai, president of BCL. Ghanaian singer Becca has been featured on CNN's new feature special African Voices Changemakers. The feature highlights the continent's most dazzling trendsetters who create their own subcultures in areas such as travel, fashion, art, music, technology, and architecture. The Nawash hitmaker was featured alongside numerous people. Becca shared her story, including her success and struggles while trying to make a name for herself in the industry. Tracy Success, wife of Ghanaian rapper Sarkodie, has launched Brave, a project that seeks to empower brilliant young women from deprived communities in Ghana. The mother of two took to social media to announce that it is all set to kickstart the project. According to her, it has always been her dream to join the conversation on how to help many young women from deprived communities in our society.
And you are welcome back to eTVGhana's African Women's Voices show. I see that some of you are already sending your waves. Hello, Obina Onwomere Olo. You are sending a wave from Nigeria. I also see you, Okereke Ezinwane from the UK. You're sending your wave. We acknowledge your presence. And a whole lot of people who are sending in their waves. We see you all. And we want you to continue the conversation with us, on social media. All right. So we are going to be going into the conversation of the day, and we told you earlier that we are going to be discussing healthy eating, and also we are going to be discussing how to diet using Ghanaian dishes. This is because a lot of times people feel that we cannot diet if we are using Ghanaian dishes because we eat a lot of carbohydrates. So for that reason, it's going to be very difficult. Today, we have a dietitian here who is actually well trained for this job, who is going to be letting us know the true facts about how to diet and how to use Ghanaian dishes that we find just around us to be able to diet better. All right, so everyone, join me as I make welcome Frederica Sewa Doku. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You're welcome. And I'm so happy that we're getting to meet you today because your schedule has been quite tough. But today you just made sure that to end Ghana month here in GMABC, you help us to herald the month as we've been celebrating Made in Ghana month the entire month of September. You're welcome once again to the studio.
Thank you so much.
You look awesome.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we're going to kick the ball rolling immediately. And first of all, we would like to understand what it means for someone to be eating smartly, because we hear about smartphones and smart gadgets. We never thought that smart eating also is something that would be developed. So what does it mean to be eating smartly?
Okay. Good evening to my viewers,
Mm-hmm.
and thank you for having me here. Smart eating actually is something that I coined out, and to me it's something intuitive. You know, smart eating is basically having a balanced diet.
Okay.
And so when somebody is eating smart, it means that the person puts the major classes of nutrients into play.
Okay, I see something on the screen right now. I see the balanced diet there at the screen, but I'm seeing like a lot more vegetables have occupied like half of the bowl.
Yes.
So meaning we need to take in much more fruits and vegetables.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that is smart eating.
That's
And
smart
smart
eating.
eating takes into consideration the nutrients that I mentioned. So we have the macronutrients, that is the carbohydrates, the proteins, and the fats. Then we have the micronutrients, which comes in the form of vitamins, minerals, and water. So combining, if you have a food before you, and then it combines these nutrients that I've mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
then you are eating smart.
Okay.
Yes, in their right proportions.
All right.
Not just the nutrients there, but then in their right quantities.
Okay, so
just
according
as
to the pie
displayed.
chart I see there on the screen right now, I see that the vegetables, the green one, has occupied a lot more space.
Yes.
And the next one is healthy protein,
Yes.
also has occupied very good space.
Yes, yeah.
Then whole grains,
Yes.
and then we see fruits somewhere around there.
So this is not a pie chart. It is a healthy eating plate.
Okay, it's
So-
healthy eating plates.
Yes,
Okay, so that's the
this is
professional way of measuring
this
it.
This is the recommended way of eating. And
Okay.
so if you are going to eat healthy, this is what you make or
Okay.
you look on to eat. And I'd like to go into details a little with the plate for my viewers to get to
Understand it, yes, because I see
So-
water over there, which is
Yes.
Voltic, definitely, and I see healthy oils there too.
Yes, so as I was saying, this healthy eating plate says that a greater portion of our plate, like a half
Mhm.
of our plate, should be filled with vegetables and fruits.
Okay.
And then they're saying that you should take more fruits from different variety of fruits. And so you make your bowl very colorful. You don't want
Okay.
any black and white food.
Mm-hmm.
And then also you see healthy proteins there.
Okay.
Talking about lean proteins. And then fish, poultry, beans, like legumes and nuts.
Mhm.
And so the healthier cuts of meat or poultry is what is recommended. That's what they wrote, lean proteins.
Okay.
Yes, and then we have the whole grains and cereals, in the sense that the whole grains and cereals contain mainly fiber, and fiber is good for the body.
Okay.
And so when you are eating whole and it's not polished or refined, you have the fiber. The goal is to eat as possible, or to eat closer to nature. As much as possible, we try to eat closer to nature. So you don't refine the food or you polish the food.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So is it the same thing as eating healthy?
Yes.
Eating smartly is the same thing as eating healthy.
Yes.
Okay.
Healthy eating. Yeah.
That's nice.
So you're being smart
Okay.
about it.
Being smart about it.
Yes.
Okay, well noted. And what you showed us is the healthy eating plate.
Yes.
So it's not a pie chart.
It's not a pie
It's
chart.
not a pie chart. Okay. All right. So what would we say is dieting then? If we know what healthy eating is and what it means to eat smartly, what is dieting then?
Okay. So dieting is a term for eating healthy to achieve a particular health goal.
Okay.
So be it weight loss, weight gain, and managing a disease condition, or you just want to live healthy, you have a goal. And so the motivation is that you eat healthy, and that process is dieting.
Okay,
And
so for instance, you know, this is specific to women because it's a women's show.
Show.
If your goal is to have, you know, produce much more breast milk, there's a kind of routine you have to follow in your dieting to be able to produce much more breast milk. And then if it's about belly fat, there's a routine you also have to follow, you know, in terms of trying to get that to happen for you. That's what you mean by the dieting. You need to have a goal
You need to have
be
a
able
goal.
to,
Yes.
okay, be saying that
Yes.
you are dieting.
Dieting.
Okay.
And to make it more specific, breastfeeding, the production of milk is not as a result of what you eat,
Okay.
because it's a hormone. And so once you have a proper attachment with the baby, then there's a signal to the brain that there's a baby there. so the milk will be let out. But then the eating comes in the quality of milk you are producing.
Okay.
The quality of milk you are producing. And so what you eat, well, is going to put the nutrients in the milk for the baby to grow well.
Okay. I think I like the point you're making right now, because it means that the quality of what we eat is going to determine the quality of the breast milk we're going to be producing.
Exactly.
We'll be going for a short commercial break. When we return, we'll continue the conversation. Do not go away. The dietitian is here in the house. We'll be right back. Welcome back to eTVGhana's African Women's Voices show, and a whole lot of you are beginning to send in your comments already on Facebook. We see you, Joy Sakite, we see you, Nana Kwame, and a whole lot of you. So keep your messages coming in through, okay? So before we went on the commercial break, we were talking about the quality of breast milk, and it has a lot to do with the quality of the food you eat. So not like the quantity of the food you eat, the quality of the food you eat will determine the quality of the breast milk. And I was going to ask you before we went on the break, we've got this breastfeeding biscuit that is being sold at the malls. So what would you say about those breastfeeding biscuits? Because a lot of women now engage in it because we believe that when we eat those breastfeeding biscuits, it means it will help us to produce much more milk.
Well, I talk about well, it should be evidence-based.
Okay.
But then evidence says that it's a hormone. So the hormone is the one which produces the breast milk. But for the quality, that one there's no two ways about it, because I think I have taken some of the biscuits, eating biscuits, and then it contains nuts and some other cereals and all that. Together, it makes it, you know, smart.
Okay.
So the quality is there. You have the proteins from the nut and the carb from the cereals and all that. So it's fine. It's not a bad thing. But then evidence says that it's not the food that's going to make the production of the milk.
Okay.
But then the milk, it's God-made.
Okay, so fantastic. So we are getting deeper into the conversation around dieting. And somehow we know here within our environment that some foods have been tagged a big no. So more like, do not ever eat rice if you want to lose weight. Don't eat bread. Don't eat avocado pear. Don't eat bananas. You know, it's like every good thing people love have to be stopped. Even eggs. We hear such stories that you don't need to take all those things if you want to, you know, lose weight. And just wondering, could you advise us, what exactly does this mean? Are we supposed to be eating it in moderation, or should we get rid of it entirely? Because what we hear is that rice is not good. Do away, you know, with rice and even bread and any form of pastry.
Okay, so as I was saying, the smart eating. Our Ghanaian foods, including rice, bread, pasta, all the things that we eat, they are not evil as supposedly tagged, or if you want to lose weight. The thing is about the food choices that we make, and also the quality of the food. I said something about smart eating. The smart means that keep it simple.
Okay.
Then we have the M is moderation. The R is roughage. So you have to put in more fiber.
Okay. And
then the T is they take away the bad things out of it.
Okay, now, so S is keep it simple.
Yes.
M is
moderation. Everything that we take should be in moderation.
Moderation.
Yes.
Then the A. I think we missed the A.
The A, it should be attractive.
It should be attractive.
Yes.
Okay, that's why we're talking about the fact that we need to, you know, add enough fruits and vegetables to make it really look colorful.
Yes. So, for example, the Ghanaian foods that we have, the food itself, it's not a big deal, but the combinations of how we put it together. Okay, so there is rice. We like rice a lot.
A lot.
But then there should be fiber. So if the rice does not have fiber, you either not take the rice without a fiber, or you add fiber to the rice. It's just simple.
Okay.
If it is pasta, you either take a whole grain pasta, or you add fiber to the pasta.
Okay, so I'm seeing something right now on the screen about a rice dish we're seeing there.
Yeah, so this is jollof,
Mm-hmm.
and there's fiber, there's vegetable, it's colorful and very attractive. That's the fish, the lean protein there.
Okay.
Yes, so
okay.
this is another way of doing jollof, and then there's fiber in there.
Yeah.
So if you use white rice, not a brown rice, and you want to introduce fiber into it, you add vegetables to the rice. If it is bread, you should go for whole grain bread, like wheat bread. But if you so want to eat sugar bread, butter bread, white bread, whatever, you add vegetable to it, to sandwich it, and then you're good to go. So it's about the combinations and the preparations of the food and the quantity we take at a time.
So that's why we need to emphasize on what the SMART actually represents again.
Yes,
So S means keep it simple.
Simple. When you go to weddings and you're eating buffet, don't take everything.
Everything.
Keep it simple.
But we are Africans. That's how we
M
eat.
is moderation. Let me tell you a story. You know, I wanted to gain weight at a point in time, and so I was eating everything. And there's something about nutritional labels.
Okay.
When you buy food, you should read labels, not the expiry date or the manufacturing date, the nutritional content of the food. So I realized that this is a biscuit, and I took all the biscuit at a go. And I was like, let me check the nutrition information. And that biscuit, taking that biscuit alone is giving me almost 500 calories. And I took it with malt. So I was just enjoying myself. The malt is also giving me some calories. So at the end of the day, just sitting there, I've taken like 800 calories, which can be used. I can eat fufu and abenkwai, twice of that.
Wow.
Yes.
And just biscuit.
So I wasn't smart about the biscuit. I was just thinking about me eating and enjoying it.
Okay.
So that's what we do. We buy mangoes, and we have like 6 mangoes, and then we sit down to take all the 6 mangoes. That's not being smart about your eating.
Yeah, but we feel that it's fruit, so we are eating a lot of it.
Because we don't have the knowledge.
Okay.
For lack of knowledge, my people perish.
Perish.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
So we have to just remember that it has to be smart.
Smart.
You need to really
Simple.
put down
Quantity.
Yes.
Portion control. So especially our Weight Watchers.
Okay.
Because you say you're losing weight and you're eating everything that comes to you. No, you have to put an embargo on what you are eating. You have to control the portions.
And that's where the moderation comes from.
Comes from. So
Okay.
whatever that it is for you. Yes, you have 6 mangoes, but you cannot eat the 6 mangoes. Something that we abuse so much is bananas. You can eat like 10 bananas at a time.
Okay.
You get it? But then these foods comes with energy. And so if you are a weight watcher, you should know that the food you are eating is energy. And then when you don't expend that energy that you get, you're going to gain weight. And so you should control what you take in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now that we have an idea of what it means to be eating smartly, I'd like you to take us through the journey of eating healthy across the country, because sometimes there are certain foods that you find in certain areas more than you find it, in other areas. So how can we help other people who are watching us outside of Accra, beyond here, and other regions of the country, for them to know that these foods that they find around them where they are healthy and could be eaten well, or if you eat it smartly, you'll definitely be dieting in the right way.
Okay. So, in Ghana, we have a lot of ethnic groups, and we have a lot of dishes that we take.
Okay.
And so we would show a bit of them, not all of them.
Okay.
And then how to and explain why it is good and what we can do about it.
Okay.
So they are not evil. Okay, so we have banku and okro, and everybody eats banku and okro. Okay. Even though there are delicacies of certain people, certain ethnic groups, but then almost everybody likes banku and okro. Okay. Now, this is fufu also, and palm nut, groundnut soup or light soup. So this particular fufu like this, the size is huge with a lot of meat.
Okay.
Here, so with this one, if you're a Weight Watcher, you would like to go about. You divide it into 4 and take a quarter or half. Divide it into 2, take half. And the meat, you just go for 1 because 1 meat is big enough.
Okay. And just as we like to eat here in our country, we like to eat together. So it means that what we have there is something that should go for like 4 people.
4 people, yes.
Okay.
4 people. And then this is a light soup. So that soup that we saw, you saw that there's a lot of oil floating on top of the soup with a lot of meat.
Yes.
So you can. This is another light soup, and it's a healthy light soup because you can see it's colorful. There's vegetable in there. There's fish in there.
Yes.
So this is a healthier option.
So can somebody just go for this soup the way it is as a meal, or do you need to also add something again to it?
You have to add an accompaniment.
Okay.
You have to add the carb portion.
Okay.
The carb. So if the carb that you're going for doesn't have fiber, you have to introduce fiber anyway, anyhow. So if it is fufu and light soup, I will always tell my clients that boil garden eggs, steam contomere and add it to it. Dandelion leaves. If you like carrot and cabbage, steam some and add it to the soup in chunks in the soup, and then you eat your fufu whilst chewing the vegetables alongside.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You know, losing belly fat is very pertinent and important to women.
Yes.
So, would you say that if we want to lose belly fat, there's something particularly that we need to do? Should we still go ahead to be eating all of what we've seen here, or are we supposed to stay away from all of this, you know, entirely? Because belly fat and, you know, having, you know, this Christian mother arms is something that we always battle. So these two, you know, places or parts of our body is where a lot of our ladies who were talking to us on Facebook really wanted us to focus our attention on how can they use dieting to work out, you know, and then feel better when it comes to the belly area and, you know, around the arms.
Okay.
What would you advise?
So for that, I always say that you can't go to heaven without dying.
Okay.
And
True.
so you cannot lose your belly fat and your upper cuts, like your arms, biceps and triceps, without losing weight. You will have to, it's a holistic approach. You have to lose some body weight to be able to lose your tummy weight and your tummy fat and arms and all that. And this, I always tell people, it's not dieting alone, because when you diet and then your metabolism is increased and fats are burning and all that, the diet that you're eating, you're preventing what is going in, you're controlling it. But the fat that you have already gained is there. The body will work to burn that. When your stomach has burned the fat there, the stomach is the skin. The body is composed of muscles, fat, water and bones. And so when you lose the fat in your belly by drinking some concoction or doing anything, what happens to the skin? It becomes flabby.
Okay.
So you have to work out to bring muscles. Muscles are produced by working at that particular area. So you work to keep the muscles there intact, firm. So the skin will be firm. Otherwise, it become flabby. And then when you stop doing whatever you were doing, the dieting, or you drank some tummy, nowadays I see tummy teas and all that, the fat will just come in because they are fat cells.
Okay.
So once you have done that, they have gone to hide or become dormant. But then once you don't work out, you have to do stomach as an ab exercise to strengthen the stomach walls and the muscles, and then you make the skin firm to replace that. Otherwise, your stomach will go back again.
Okay, so it means that dieting alone is not going to keep the tummy tight as we want it, as well as the arms as well.
Yes.
Okay, so what would you say about, okay, well, it doesn't have anything to do with dieting anyway, but it's something that we used to do in the days of old, you know, old times, but now it's been, well, it's metamorphosed somehow. You find tummy trimmers that you have to wear, but our mothers used to tie cloth around their tummies. It's something similar, right?
Yes.
So is this something that you could also continue doing as you work out?
Yes, because it's a sort of workout.
Okay.
Once you do that, you tuck the tummy in. Even if you don't wear any cloth or trainers or anything, and you tuck your tummy in, it's a form of exercises. And so you are strengthening the stomach walls, the muscles there. It's the same way when you are taking weights and lifting weight, you are strengthening the muscles here so that you will not lose weight and then have a flabby underarm.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, interesting. We'll be going for a quick commercial break once again, but we are going to be taking our health tip right now. Do stay tuned. And you're welcome back to eTVGhana's African Women's Voices show. Nanama Abokuma, we see you. Benjamin Tree, we also see you. Benjamin Ampa, we also see you. And we want to say, yeah, continue to watch eTVGhana's African Women's Voices show. Very soon, we're going to read your comments. We're going to open the phone lines so that you can be part of the conversation. I can see that a lot of you are itching to be part of it, and we'll be opening the phone lines very soon. Okay, so going back to the conversation we were having, you were saying that when we tuck our tummy in, it's also a kind of exercise that will help you to be able to build the muscles around your abdomen and give you a flat tummy. But that should take like months to work.
So you see, when you like something, you should go for it.
Okay.
There's nothing that you can do. There's nothing that you can control. So if you want your tummy to be flat, you have to work at it. All those you see with flat tummies, and they work at it.
They worked out.
They do a lot of things. So you have to work at it. You can't depend on diet alone. The diet will make your tummy go down, but then the skin will become flabby. So you have to put it back together by working out.
So the emphasis here is that apart from eating healthy, when you're dieting definitely goes with exercising.
Yes. It goes hand in hand, because when you eat, you have to, the food is fuel, is energy. And the energy that you have gotten, you have to expend it. When you buy fuel in your vehicle, you move. And then the fuel gets finished. And you refill. So if you don't move, the body is such that it's so comfortable to store. So if you don't expend the energy quickly, the body will store and you become fat. And you don't have to do any serious exercise.
Yeah,
like
I was coming to ask you that. So what kind of exercise? Because sometimes you don't even have time to go to the gym.
Yes. So some people like, oh, I can't go to the gym, or I see it as I'm doing something. It's scary and all that. No, you just have to take a walk.
Okay.
Brisk walks. Fortunately for us, there are apps on our phone that can calculate the steps you've done in a day, that can tell you, look, today you have sat for long, get up. I have such apps, and they tell me, you sat too much, get up and walk.
Okay.
So you can take a brisk walk and then walk kilometers away, 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, then you are good to go. You can do, there are videos and all, you can do aerobics in your room and all that, dancing with earpiece in your ears. You have to move, definitely. You have to move. Yes.
Okay, that's well noted. So it means that, well, no
Physical
laziness.
activity is, you cannot underestimate it.
Okay, so what has BMI got to do with dieting?
Okay.
Because all the time when we talk about people being overweight, or when people want to, you know, work out, somehow the advice is, before you engage in these things, is always good for you to check out your BMI to be sure of exactly what it is that you need. Could you take us through what exactly, what role does the BMI play when it comes to dieting?
Okay. Now, BMI is a body mass index. It's a measure of your health status, nutritionally, or nutritional status, showing whether you are malnourished or you are healthy or you are overnourished. So malnourished is either over or under weight. So with the BMI, it takes into consideration your weight and your height. To every height, there should be a weight that balances it. And so if your weight is too lower than your height, you are classified as underweight.
Okay.
So they have a figure that is a BMI of 18.5 and below. That is underweight.
So when you are underweight,
So
there's also a dieting routine you have to follow to be able to step up your weight.
To step up, yes, to gain weight and come to normal.
So in that way, do you apply smart eating technique?
Yes, you do.
Because, you know, you're talking about moderation and all of that. So it means you need to eat much more.
So with this one, you know, with every goal that you want to achieve, you have to involve a dietitian.
Okay.
A registered dietitian or a nutritionist. Because the BMI is not absolute. Evidence shows that the BMI does not take into consideration certain things like the person's age. And I told you the weight itself is made up of fat, lean muscles, water in the body, and a bone density. So if you stand on a scale and they say your weight is 60, it's not just fat, it's not just muscle, it's together. It's fat, water, muscles, and bone density. Okay. The BMI does not separate these things. Somebody can be an athlete. The person will be on the BMI measurement, and the person will be overweight. Not because the person has fat, but the person may be overweight because the person has muscles, a lot of muscles. So the BMI is what we use generally, but then if you go into details, we now break down to fats, distribution of fat, regional distribution of fat, and the muscles that. So for me, for instance, if you see me or every dietitian, we have a way of estimating or measuring your lean. So you come and then your weight is 120, and then you're a footballer. Then I check how much muscles do you have, how much fat do you have, what is your body age, metabolic age, how is your metabolism functioning.
So how do you find that out? Do you have to do a lab test?
No, there's an assessment, there's a machine for that.
Okay.
Yes. So, and then there are calculations for that. So as a dietitian, I'll calculate that and then know what you need. So some people have more muscles than fat. So those people, you know what to do with them. They are just tagged as overweight, but they are not. So you know the diet that you're supposed to give them.
Okay.
Some people are underweight with low muscles, low fat. You know what to do for them. Some people are overweight or obese with a lot of fat. And even the fat, there are regional distribution of the fat. Okay. We have fats that are in our breast. We have fats that are in our buttocks. We have fats in our thighs, in our arms. And so the ones that we are more concerned about, because as Africans, we have fat in our glutes. We have that thing. So when somebody has that too much, I mean, it's not a concern. But then the visceral fat, the one in the tummy.
Yeah, I was going to say the one on the back side, we don't seem to have a problem with that.
Yes,
we like that one.
The visceral
the chest
fat
area we seem to like, but the one in the
apart
belly.
from the fact that we don't like it physically for fashion and all that, it also has health concerns. Because having a lot of central adiposity will predispose you to diabetes, hypertension, and all these cardiovascular diseases out there.
Okay.
And so we are not only working on your tummy, but then also to prevent these things. So there are regional distributions of fat. So depending on what you have or what you are presenting with, then we will address that, or the dietitian will see. You can't just get up and do dieting with somebody else or something. You get an overall weight, or sometimes the weight loss are not healthy.
Okay. Because
evidence shows that healthy weight loss is over 6 months, and you lose 10% of your weight over 6 months. So any weight loss that promises 9 days, 10 days,
it's not healthy.
It's not healthy, and you are just losing body fluids and not body fat. Because fat cells don't vanish; they just shrink. They can come back at any time.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So the takeout that I am really getting here is that for those of us who want to step up our weight because somehow we see that we're underweight, you still have to apply the smart way of eating. Yeah. Because if you get to meet a dietitian, she'll be able to let you know that you've got fat in certain parts of your body. So that means that you still need to eat smartly to be able to work around those excesses. Yes. So just because you're underweight does not mean that you've not got fat in your body. You've got fat in certain places that really need to be directed properly.
Yes. And also your energy requirement.
The energy
requirement.
Everybody
has the nutritional need and then energy requirement. And so the dietitian would know your energy requirement, your nutrient requirement per day, and then plan your diet, your meal according to that. And so if a dietitian tells you take 2 ladles of rice, she knows what she's saying, or he knows what she's saying. Take 5 ladles, or take milk, 1 tin. He knows what you're doing. Take 2 eggs, because we know that maybe you are underweight, and then you need this amount of protein per day.
Okay.
Yes. So, so the energy requirement varies, and then the needs, it cuts across the life cycle. Be it an adolescent, a young lady, a pregnant woman, or working mother, all those things are there. So
very important. So please, we are going to be opening the phone lines right now. The numbers are going to be put across your screen right now. So please look through the numbers and then you give us that call. So the number is 0555 657278. So write it down. We'll go for a quick commercial break. When we return, the phone lines will be opened. You're back to the show. Oh, wow. We're seeing a lot more people sending in their waves. We see Perfume Plaza GH. We see your wave, Justice Nate. Shamima Ishmael, we see your wave. Elizabeth Saka, Ejenim. Naomi Kweku, we see your wave as well. And so many of you. So we've opened the phone lines and we'd like you to give us a call and ask us the questions on your mind around eating healthy and dieting. Okay, so if you just joined, no problem. We're still going to have some more time with you before we wrap up the show. So just join in and then catch us up from where we are right now. So before we went on the break, we were talking about the fact that, you know, sometimes people could be underweight and then they feel that, okay, they need to eat more. That's not the case. You do not necessarily need to eat more. You still have to eat smartly because sometimes the distribution of fat in your body is not in the best of position, and also the energy that you need is also not in the best position. So the dietitian is going to help you to be able to gain all of that and be right on track. So now that we understand that portion, is there a certain you know, amount or quantity of fat that we could say is supposed to be in maybe women, men or children, or does it vary for the categories of people I mentioned, or is the same?
okay, so there are categories of fat percentages in women, men and children. You know, it cuts across, there are different percentages for various ages. Okay, and then going through the evidences, and then when I read, women of certain age, maybe age ranges, when you put all together, it boils down to a particular range of fat. So when you take women like this, we have 20 to 25, 35% body fat. So if you check your percentage body fat, total percentage body fat, and it's more than 35, then it means that it's high.
It's high. If it's more than 35,
it's from 20 to 35 for
Okay.
women across the ages, from 18 to above 60.
Okay.
It cuts across. So it's high. And
who will help us to know about the percentage of fat in our body? A doctor, or if we come to a dietitian, we'll be able to find that out?
Or a nutritionist.
A nutritionist
Yes,
will
yes.
help us to know exactly
Yes.
the percentage
Yes.
of fat in
And
us.
for
If
men,
it's beyond 35,
yes,
it means there's a problem.
there's a problem. And with that also, we take into consideration the fat in your breast, the fat in your buttocks, the fat in your tummy. So then if it's 35.
Okay. Sorry not to catch you, but I think we have our first caller.
Okay.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
How are
Good evening.
you?
I'm good. And you?
I'm very fine. Please, what's your name and where are you calling us from?
Okay. I'm Linda. I'm calling from Sunyani.
Okay. Do you have a contribution or you have a question?
I have a question for Frederica.
All right. Please go ahead.
Okay. I'm a breastfeeding mother, and then I've tried eating smartly so that I don't gain too much weight. Before I was pregnant, I was like 85 kilos. But now I weigh like 78 kilos, and then I feel like I still want to lose more weight. Is it healthy, or what should I do?
Okay, all right. So she's going to take your question right now and give you feedback. All right, so keep listening.
Okay,
Oh.
so, okay, Linda, well, for breastfeeding mothers,
Okay.
what happens, most of them gain weight during pregnancy. And so coming down, it becomes difficult. Now, when you are breastfeeding, you don't have to lose too much weight. Because you are breastfeeding, you need the nutrients for the child, and you need the energy also. And so from 85 to 78 is not bad, you are doing well, but you need to do more. You need to do more. You need to move more. You need to check your portions right. You need to add your fiber. Some people will be like, oh, I'm losing weight, but then they will not eat from morning till afternoon. Then they will get some malt and meat pie. You know. So the body is such that if you also starve yourself because you are losing weight, the body will save or will keep the fats that you get immediately.
Okay.
And so for breastfeeding mothers, you have to practice healthy eating, yes. People also will be like, oh, I'm breastfeeding, I have to eat more and all that. You don't have to do that. You just need your 3 main meals with snacks, healthy snacks. And so Linda will have to see a dietitian to plan a meal according to her energy requirements right now, that as she's speaking. Like
Okay.
right now, she's giving birth, what's her energy requirement? And the dietitian will take into consideration the fact that she is a breastfeeding mother, and I recommend certain foods that she's supposed to eat.
Okay.
So you cannot do it on your own alone. You cannot also read on Google alone and do it. You need a professional
to help you.
Yes.
All right. So we wish you all the best on this journey, okay? Thank you so much, and say hello to everyone in Sunyani for us. Okay, on Facebook, we are seeing a question here from Ajuba Amwakwe. She's asking, whilst dieting, is it okay to juice most of our fruits?
Not absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, because I mentioned roughage, fiber. So you can juice your fruit, but not every time. You have to add fiber to it. So you can juice your fruit and put in seeds or nuts, especially seeds in the fruit, like chia seeds, to make it, because chia seed has a lot of fiber and it is a soluble fiber, so it makes the thing thick. But we prefer smoothie, you blending the fiber with the juice.
Okay.
If at the time that you don't like the fiber at all, then you should add seeds too, or you should take the juice with a fiber food in addition. So you can do your juice with a sandwich with a lot of vegetables in the sandwich, and you're good to go.
Okay. All right. So we have another caller. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hi. Good evening.
Good evening.
Please, what's your name and where are you calling us from?
So my name is Dietitian Lee. I'm calling you guys from Chiautishi.
Okay, Dietitian Lee, please talk to us. You have a contribution or a question?
Oh, I just wanted to stress on something. You know, with the normal Ghanaian eating, sometimes you have a meal, and you have somebody having a beer, 2 bottles of beer. That comes with the meal.
Yeah.
Yes, and I just want Frederica to talk about that for us. You know, I'm calling on behalf of the men. I know it's a lady show.
So you're calling on behalf of the men. Okay, all right. Frederica is going to talk about that. Eating with your 2 bottles of beer. You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, Nee, thank you so much for calling. For the men, you know, alcohol contains energy, contains sugar. And if you check the evidences, alcohol has even much higher sugar than you eating bread or rice, because 1 gram of rice is going to give you 4 calories, but alcohol is giving you 7.
Okay.
And so usually people will get like beer. Beer is not a bad thing, I'm not saying that. But you get a bottle of beer, like the big size, like 500 mils. And then you have your fufu with lots of meat. Now the 500 mils, multiply 500 mils times 7.
Okay.
It will give you the number of calories
that
you will see. That's a lot.
That's
calories you can use it to eat banku and oko stew and be satisfied. But the alcohol will not satisfy.
3,500 calories. 500 times 7. Jesus Christ, that's a lot.
So you see, so this what we call empty calories, because they don't give you anything apart from sugar and energy. and it excites your system. That's all. It's not going to, it doesn't have, it's not a smart eating, it's not from the well plate, because there is no other nutrient apart from sugar. So we should try as much as possible to avoid or limit the intake of these foods. We shouldn't prep our meals with that, like an appetizer. You take that one, and then before you're adding too much calories to your food. That is where they get that pot belly, the central adiposity.
Okay, I think on that note, we are going to be calling it a night instead of calling it a day, because we've been able to address quite a number of issues around being overweight, dieting and healthy eating and eating smartly. However, the conversation still continues on all our social media platforms. If you have certain questions that we're not able to address, please ask us on our social media platforms. We'll get the nutritionist to be able to give us the answers to those questions and or contributions as well. So I'd like to acknowledge my sponsors once again. Please, my hair was provided by Awo's Hair, and you can just locate her on Instagram for that special hair piece that you want. Okay, it was styled by Second Image International, and you locate Second Image International around Adabraka, next to the Adabraka police station. Voltic. Thank you so much for being a partner on this show. Sankofa Natural Spices, thank you. I really appreciate you. Chana Shito, your number one pepper sauce in Ghana. Thank you so much. And I'll be Bites Catering Services. Oh, when it comes to refreshments, when it comes to pastries, cakes, I'll be Bites should be your next point of call, okay? And to end the show, we are going to be giving you packages from all of these sponsors. They say they are so happy with what you're doing, and they want you to continue to advise people right on their health and dieting needs.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so if you missed parts of this show, the repeats will be coming to you again on Saturday at 12 noon. Make it a date and watch from the beginning to the end. And until I see you same time next week on Wednesday, please enjoy the rest of our interesting lineup for you. Bye-bye.